All right, Cleveland, you said you want Boston. You got Boston. Celtics and Cavs. We'll do our first of two previews. Are there any concerns? What should the matchups be? Let's talk about it right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Thanks to Blockbuster brand, it's holiday season. Drop Drew in the mix. And 3 from KP, no, we not on the Knicks. Flushing competition like Al on Giannis. Juice and Big Zeus, still Beantown's finest. Banner 18 going up in the rafters. Watch the C's game in Locked On after. Karalis on the breakdown. Clutch like a tip from D. White on the breakdown. John on the mic, documenting domination. Matter pen a back bay, it's all C's nation. Rain and J's, how we started, raising banners, how we finish. Locked On Celtics pod, home of the winners. Peace.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. I got you covered every single day, Monday through Friday. I got bonus podcasts every once in a while. Surprise one this past weekend. If you missed Kristaps Porzingis talking about his injury, go back and listen to that after you're done with this one. So subscribe. This way you know when these shows drop. Get into the YouTube comment section. Get notified when those videos drop as well. If you're new to the show, I'm John Karalis. Used to play. Now I'm covering the Celtics as a beat writer for Boston Sports Journal. Today, well, first of all, today's show is brought to you by Monopoly Go, the fast-paced game that lets you team up with friends for tournaments to unlock awesome prizes like unique stickers for trading, cool playing pieces, and hilarious emojis for taunting your friends. Download Monopoly Go now for free on Google Play or the App Store. Game on. And it's going to be game on with the Celtics and Cavs Tuesday night at 7 o'clock in Boston. Let's dive in, man. It's time to talk Celtics Cavs with Tom Westerholm. Tom, hi. How are you? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Feeling sunburnt. You know, feeling pretty good.
Sunburnt?
Yeah.
So just no reasoning behind it. Just going to tell us that you got sunburned and that's
I was
it.
in the sun. I don't know what to tell you, man. If you're on the YouTube, I look red because I was in the sun.
Pinkish.
I got
It's
sunburn.
a healthy glow, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe not so healthy because it's a sunburn.
Yeah, not that healthy. But I'm ready to talk some Celtics Cavs though. That's for sure.
All right. I just want to say this right up front. I just refuse to believe that a team that still relies on Tristan Thompson and Marcus Morris is going to be any sort of threat. I just want to, my analysis can begin and end there.
Yeah.
Your team relies on Tristan Thompson and Marcus Morris for meaningful minutes. Therefore, you are an unserious team, and Orlando took you to 7 games, and they're a nice team. They're a young team. I have a lot of respect for Orlando.
Yeah.
You almost didn't make it out of that series. So I think we could just end the podcast there. You have Tristan Thompson. You have Marcus Morris. You have no chance.
Well, first of all, get Marcus Morris's name out of your mouth. I still like that guy. But
it's not a personal thing.
No, for sure. No, I think you're
started in this game. This game 7.
Listen, your Tristan Thompson point is the one that I think is the one that's teeth. There's teeth there. That guy was terrible. I mean, guy was terrible. What 3 years ago when he was on the Celtics? Hasn't gotten better.
No. He was on steroids or whatever. That helped him out a little bit. He had that little stint and now he's, I guess, off the drugs. Theoretically, I mean, he hasn't tested positive again, so that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
If Tristan Thompson plays any minutes in this game in this series against the Celtics, okay, let's assume he gets 12 minutes a game. Okay,
sure. He got 7 today to be abundantly clear and fair.
Okay,
he got 7 today.
Okay, I saw a box score where we got 12.
Okay,
so let's split the difference. Let's say 9. Let's say he gets 9 minutes a game.
Okay,
in this upcoming series, what would his plus minus be?
Listen, 7 minutes. He was +3 today, according to ESPN's box score. So, listen, reconfigure everything that you thought you knew about Tristan Thompson. No, I mean he would be a comical target for the Celtics. So it's like, I mean, like, you know, jokes aside, like he can't play against the Celtics team. It would just be mismatch hunting, and then that would create the 2-for-1s that the Celtics feast on and destroy teams on. Like this is not a series for good old Tristan Thompson.
Which brings me to the matchups. And I do think this is a good matchup for Boston. I actually preferred this one to the Orlando matchup just because Orlando
Yeah, I did too.
is they're bigger, right? They're bigger, they're tougher, they're more physical.
Yep.
And that's I know Jayson Tatum went to the whole thing about like, hey, people say that they got to be more physical against us. There's a reason why people say that, because it works, right?
Yeah.
It's been the most effective thing against Boston. And I don't think this Cavs team is going to be like Miami handsy physical, right?
Yeah.
But they're also going to be Miami not great shooting 3-point threats. You've got Strus, who's as good as, Duncan Robinson or anything, and you've got, maybe they play Dean Wade a bunch because of what he did in that last game in the regular season. I don't know, but I think they shot 29.9% against the Orlando Magic. If you get that type of shooting from the Cavs, if you can hold them to that, you force them into a bunch of twos. I like this matchup because you're going to get a lot of the similar stuff as you did against Miami without the over the top physicality. You're not going to see somebody like pull a Bam out of bio, two-hand shove Al Horford in the chest.
Well, that wasn't a foul, sir. So you
I didn't say it was a foul. I'm just saying he two-hand shoved, and you're not going to see anybody do
right, for sure. No, I agree. I do think that there are some individual matchups. Like I think it might be a little bit harder for the Celtics to just explicitly go. There's no Tyler Hero out there, right? Like Max Strus isn't quite Hero. I don't think. I mean, maybe he is. But like one way or the other, I think that there's a few guys who can, like Okoro is going to be, something of a challenge for guys who matter, right? Like, and I think that's always the thing that interests me. And that's actually the biggest reason why I thought the Celtics, I think the Celtics would have beaten Orlando, would have handled them just fine. But I thought that was a worse matchup for them because of specifically Jonathan Isaac. Like if you've got that guy who can throw that wrench into the Celtics offense, make it that much harder for one of their best players, it just brings their level down a little bit further than you're super comfortable with. And Okoro is a good defender. I don't think the Cavaliers necessarily have that guy. You can Mobley, like, if Jared Allen is healthy, like maybe have some of that like rim protection issue, but like Tatum was so much better at that this year than he was last year. It's a tough matchup for Cleveland. I think if you go like position by position, even like Mitchell's a great player and he's going to get a lot of buckets in this series because he gets a lot of buckets. But like, again, like the Celtics have two of the best individual one-on-one guards in the NBA who will at least make it a little bit more difficult for him. And, when you start adding in their 3-point struggles and everything else, I just feel like the math starts to just not math for Cleveland. And I think that's kind of, why, I don't know if we're getting to picks or anything like that, but that's, I think, why most people are going to be picking Celtics in this series. It's just, the star power, the math, like there's a lot of things that are shoving their way. Yeah,
there is a lot that goes into it. It's going to be, I think the key here for the Celtics is going to be their defense, getting the stops, getting out and running, because the Cavaliers' strength is their defense. It's their length at the rim. It's their ability. Like, I want Boston to do what Cleveland will be trying to do, which is protect the rim, block shots, get stops, get out and run in transition, and be a team that can score against your cross matches. I think where Cleveland's going to struggle is running half court sets. And, in the half court, it's just going to be, can Donovan Mitchell get hot or not? I think Garland can be handled. He was up and down in this opening round series. I feel like if Boston can get the stops, rebound, which is very important, get the rebounds, clear those rebounds, and get out in transition. Don't worry about leak outs. Just get the rebounds and push it. You push it off the make. Anybody in this starting lineup with Porzingis out, anybody can grab and go. That's so just grab and go. Don't worry about outlet passes. Grab and go and figure it out. If there's somebody up ahead, great, pitch ahead. But if the Celtics can get those stops, run them off the 3-point line, force them into the mid-range, get those stops, get out into transition, score, come back, set your defense, do it again. That is a formula for easy wins to me in this series. I've got my defensive matchups for the Celtics, and I tweeted it out. People are like, really? Huh. Interesting choice. So I'll tell you what my choice is when we come back. Today's show is brought to you by Monopoly Go. And I know you're saying, whoa, John, technical foul on you. We've talked about Monopoly Go, but there's a lot of good stuff to talk about in this game. You can team up with your friends, right? It's always fun to team up with your friends. You get time tournaments where you work together to build up each other's boards. The more you win, the more awesome prizes you unlock. And there's a ton to unlock because you get unique stickers that you can trade with your friends. You complete the albums, you get big prizes. You get cool new playing pieces to travel the boards with. Monopoly iconically is about the playing pieces. And you get hilarious emojis. You can taunt your friends, because what's better than playing with your friends other than taunting your friends when you smash their buildings and heist their vaults? Play Monopoly Go feels new and exciting every day with constantly changing tournaments and challenges. A ton include their own unique mini games. There's digging for treasure. There's a robot pachinko machine, and new timed events that help you win big, like, I don't know, Cleveland's bigs? No, you just helps you win big, like massive multipliers for everything you win, and rent frenzies. So there's something fun to discover in Monopoly Go. Go set off your friends, download this game on Google Play. I know how to talk, and find it on the App Store. Game on. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book because it's giving you $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. Go place a $5 bet now on NBA, NHL playoff games. They're giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own with $150 in bonus bets if your $5 bet wins. So you can bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every playoff shot count and use the tools that are there. Use the tools that allow you to set your limits and gamble responsibly at FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On Sports today. Turn off Fox Sports and ESPN. Turn on Locked On Sports today. It's streaming 24/7 on YouTube and on the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. It's real sports talk. It's real analysis. It's real and not fake contrived stuff like those other big networks. So find it on YouTube, find it on Amazon Fire TV all day, every day on Locked On Podcast Network, which is your team every day. Let's get into this with Tom. I think I've got my defensive matchups to start the game for Boston. You tell me what you think.
Okay.
I got Jaylen Brown starting on Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to put Holiday on Darius Garland. I want White on Max Strus. And assuming Jared Allen plays, that's Horford and Tatum on Evan Mobley. So I want size against Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I know that Jaylen's going to have to stay down on fakes. I know that Jaylen's going to have to make sure he doesn't foul. But I want size on Donovan Mitchell. Plus, I have that thing in my head where Holiday was on a podcast where he said, I hate guarding those smaller, shifty point guards. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So don't. You can go on Darius Garland. And like, I would prefer him on Garland because I want Garland negated. I'm allowing some amount of Donovan Mitchell. Like, he's going to get his. So let's see him do it against some size. Let's not really send a lot of help. Let's let Jaylen pick up this big defensive assignment. It's one of his best friends. They're going to have some extra juice for that. No pun intended. I want Garland out. I want him out of the picture. I want Holiday to eliminate him. I want White to be able to challenge Strus and make sure he's not hitting threes. And then with Allen and Mobley, just the help that Tatum and Horford can give, because those guys aren't stepping way out a lot. So what do you think about that defensive matchup?
I like that, honestly. I think I would agree on on Mitchell. Especially I like the Jaylen one because he does a really nice job a lot of times when he's one-on-one. Sometimes the off-ball stuff can get a little hairier. And who's going to have the ball all the time? I'm Donovan Mitchell. Like that's, he's going to be on the ball a lot. And, he's talked all year about wanting to, be that all NBA type or all defense, type guy. Like this, these are the matchups that could, get you into that conversation. Obviously not this year, but next year. Like if you're looking to start piling up that kind of thing, or if you're looking to start building that resume, yeah, a great series against Donovan Mitchell, on a stage like this, that's a great way to get started. Like that's a good, that's an interesting option there. I also really like Derek White on Strus. I think you don't let him get going. Don't let those threes start piling up because that's dangerous. Like the Celtics can attest. You put one of your smartest defenders on that guy, let him operate. And then, if White, that kind of gives you that guy who can, you don't want him freelancing much, but if there's a guy who can freelance off Max Strus and still defend Max Strus, I like White in that role. I think it's interesting that you said that you're like, well, yeah, Holiday doesn't want to guard the shifty guys, and then you had him on Darius Garland. That guy's pretty shifty. But
I understand that. Yes, I understand that.
But I do see your point, and I like the Jaylen Mitchell matchup. I think that's a good way to start things off.
I feel like Garland he has the potential to be a confidence case. And so, yes, he is smaller and shifty and all of that, no doubt. But the ball is going to be in Donovan Mitchell's hands most of the time. If Darius is having a kind of, iffy type of start, if there's a little bit of a confidence issue, who better to break that confidence than Holiday? Yeah. And I think the biggest thing with this configuration, with the full acknowledgement that when you say these things, there's always switching, there's always cross matches. It's never going to be 100% of the time Jaylen on Donovan and all of that stuff. But as much as you can do it, the thing I'm trying to accomplish with this configuration is, first of all, you're negating everybody else. So if Donovan Mitchell goes off, he goes off. 40, 50, fine. You can hold the rest of that team below 50. There's not a ton of scoring unless they get going, right? And so if you can sap Garland's confidence early, if you can get up on Strus and have those shots not fall, if you can eliminate some of the lobs and the other stuff that Allen and Mobley, just whatever, limit that to some degree, while also allowing Tatum and Horford to help on Mitchell drives. So maybe you're just getting mid-range shots. And I know through the entire series against Orlando, he was hitting some crazy stuff against 3 and 4 defenders at the rim. So I don't even know if that's even going to work, but the help that they can give maybe limits how much Mitchell can go off. So Jaylen, you got the assignment. It's up to you. We're not overreacting to him scoring. We're not sending help. It's up to you, buddy. You want the big test? This is your big test, and go do it. Just don't foul. Just don't foul.
That's the big thing. Yeah.
That's the big thing. Don't foul. I'd rather you give up the mid-range shot and be like, damn it, than overreact, bite for a pump fake, land on him, and give him the 2 free throws. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. The other thing I like about that a lot is that if you can limit Strus and Garland, the thing about Mitchell is that he's going to get a lot of points and he's going to pile up a lot of points at the free throw line too. But if he's not going to shoot efficiently, right? Like like from the field, like chalk it up, right? He's probably going to get, I don't know. I don't know what his average is, but given his usage, probably 8 to 12 free throws a game, somewhere in there for sure. And then
that's
more some nights maybe, but in that range, fine. No worries. He's also just not that efficient of a shooter. And if he's a little inefficient, if Garland isn't scoring much, and if Strus isn't, making 6 threes, it's laid out right there for you. Like
right.
you probably don't even need to make 23s or whatever it is to win those kind of games. Like you're in a pretty good position.
Yeah, you're holding their offensive rating in that series was 100. And that's with Donovan Mitchell going off. And that's with a very good Orlando defense, but Boston's defense is better statistically than Orlando's defense. Now, it does hurt that Porzingis isn't there. You lose a rim protector, obviously, but at the same time, Horford's a pretty good rim protector, and Luke Cornett, his block percentage is really good. Like the one thing that sticks out for me in that Miami series is in that game 5, how Luke Cornett blocked Bam Adebayo straight up. You don't see a lot of straight up blocks like that, big on big. And he blocked him straight up to the point where the next time Adebayo got the ball in the post, he threw 2 up fakes and then dribbled back and took a fadeaway. So there is still rim protection there for Boston. But it's obviously you lose some
Kata series. We're going to we're getting some Kata in there.
Myers Kata, low key MVP. I feel like Boston should be able to hold Cleveland to 100 points or less. Like we could see I don't know if they're going to hold them to 84 and 86 or 88 like they did against Miami, but 92, 94. If Boston's offense can't put up 100 to 105 to 110, right? Like then you've had a problem. Even on Boston's worst offensive nights, they can do that. But let's talk about concerns about the Celtics offense, because I do think there are some. I got two concerns about the Celtics offense against the Cavs, which I'll talk about in just a second. Today's show is brought to you by DoorDash. Mother's Day is around the corner, May 12th. It's a week away. So if you're like me, you're like, oh, right, Mother's Day. I've totally planned for this. So DoorDash is a great way to kind of figure something out. You're on the go. You don't have a lot of time, but DoorDash is going to help you because they've got ways to get mom anything. You want to get her flowers. You want to get her candy. Is she a tech person? You want to get her some kind of gadget? Is she into makeup and beauty? You want to get her something like that? It's all available on DoorDash. And the best part is with DoorDash and Dash Pass, you get a deal there. You can get everything in one place. You can get 50% off your next order, up to $15 when you spend $15 or more on your next flour, convenience, grocery, or retail order if you use the code LOCKEDONNBA. That's LOCKEDONNBA when you order using DoorDash. You also get deals using Dash Pass. With the Dash Pass membership, you get $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees on eligible orders. Now, there are other fees, including a service fee that may apply there, and there are terms that apply. But you can go to one of these stores, you can find something that mom likes, and you can have it delivered straight to her door. So it's a surprise, it's thoughtful, it's something that she wants, and you can get it with your 50% off your next order, up to $15 when you spend $15 or more. Make sure you're using the code LOCKEDONNBA. Sign up for that Dash Pass, get the deals there. Make sure you're reading those terms so you know exactly what those are. But 50% off your next order this is a great time to take advantage of that. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA. Spend that $15 or more on mom. You got to be spending more than $15 on mom. Do that right now and save at DoorDash. All right, Tom, I have two concerns when it comes to the Celtics offense. Let's start with the first one. I'm concerned that the bigs will force the Celtics into more jumpers, number one. So I'm concerned that because of the shot blockers, the Celtics are just going to settle for mid-range shots, three-point shots, whatever. And attacking the rim is, you still have to get there so you can get your kickouts, right? So that's number one. Number two, my concern is the matchup hunting, because there are going to be matchups to hunt. It's going to slow them down to a point where they aren't winning the possession battle. And the fewer possessions Boston has, the better it is for the Cavs, because that minimizes Boston's chance to run away. I think Boston's best chance is playing faster, attacking the rim, driving kick, and piling up the possessions, because they can do more with those possessions than Cleveland can. And like you said before, the math starts mathing in Boston's favor.
Yeah, and I think the Celtics have gotten bogged down in matchup hunting at times this year, but I think it's been way better this season than it was last year. They've done a much better job of kind of snapping themselves out of it, which credit to everybody involved for that, because that's a habit. It's hard to break bad habits like that. And they've done a much better job of that this season. So I do think that's good. I also think, you talk about like being forced into jumpers, and that's certainly possible. But the thing that does do in some way, that means that in some way the Celtics have engaged and shifted the Cavaliers defense, right? Like, it means that a big has had to edge up. It means that there's something happening. There's something cracking and shifting a little bit in the Cavaliers defense. And I do think that means that the Celtics have created some kind of an advantage somewhere. So it's like, if you play smart, if you, if you make the right pass, if you, lob the right lob to whoever or whatever it might be, those things I think are both manageable. So yeah, I mean, I think those are legitimate concerns. I think, I think those are both legitimate concerns. And then there's always the concern that the Celtics are going to have a game or two where they shoot 22% from three. That's and everything's messed up. So any of those things could go wrong for sure. But I do think the Celtics are certainly better positioned this year to manage those concerns than they were last year.
Yeah. And I think what we saw in games 4 and 5 against Miami, because I do think there will be carryover from the Miami series to this one. I just think there are enough similarities to what Boston's trying to accomplish that they can carry some of those bits and pieces from the Miami game plan. That I think there is something to look at from there. And, the Jaylen Brown quick attacks on Tyler Hero, those are really important.
Yeah.
When you have that matchup in front of you, the key for Boston is understanding that matchup hunting doesn't just mean calling the weak defender over his guy and setting the pick and everybody get out of the way. It's when you turn and look and you see a guy that you can attack, you just do it. And then you collapse the defense and then see where your advantage is. Is it still you with the ball? Or when you get past the weak defender, everybody on the other team knows that that's a weak defender. So that means they're like, oh crap, we got to help Donovan. We got to help this guy a lot more. And if 3 guys are like, we got to help him, that means that reaction is stronger. A stronger help reaction means that more guys are going to be open. So even if it's not like an attack for you per se, you attack that matchup regardless, and then you move the ball, because once everybody else has helped, now you're in rotation, and you just move it and let them rotate and make it easier on yourselves. After 2-3 passes, a much easier shot will present itself than, hey, okay, you go there. Okay, you come here. All right, I'm going to do my individual thing. And you're right. The Celtics have been better at that. The concern might be a little bit of a holdover concern, but
reasonable.
I also know that when the pressure builds up, people tend to go back to their bad habits. And
yeah,
I want to see if the Celtics are going to revert. And even if they do, so what, right? Like, it happened in game 2 against Miami. They reverted to their bad habits a little bit. Then it was like, okay, my bad. And they came out in the next 3 games and didn't do that. So it's not to say that they won't. I'd like them not to. If they do, can they recover from it quickly?
Yeah. Yeah. If they do, can they do the thing that Joe Mazzulla has been kind of, talking about and hinting his way around, like the whole playoffs, right? Where it's like, yeah, things aren't always going to go perfectly. It's all about how you snap back to doing things well again. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's part one. That's part one of our preview of the Celtics and the Cavs. I'm hoping to get at least one of the Locked On Cavs guys here for tomorrow, so we can do that crossover stuff and really dive into this a little bit more. In the meantime, Tom Westerholm at Tom_NBA on Twitter. Appreciate you as always.
Appreciate you, man.
And I always appreciate you, the listener, the watcher, the everydayer, the person who's with me Monday through Friday, who's with me when I do bonus podcasts on the weekends, who's in the comments section. I love having you around. Thank you so, so much. If any of you are in Cleveland, come say hi. You know, I haven't covered a professional basketball game in Cleveland in my career. I can see Tom in the background going, that's because I think, Tom, we skipped when we were working at Mass Live together. I'm going to bring you back on.
Yeah.
When we were working at Mass Live, we always skipped
phone down. Stop texting.
Yeah. We skipped all the Cavs games, didn't we?
I don't know, man. I've been to Cleveland a lot for games.
Yeah. Well, either we skipped them or I gave them to you.
Yeah, that might have been it. I mean, I liked Barrio. Like, I liked the taco place across the street from the arena. So I was always down for a Cleveland trip.
Yeah. See, I was like, yeah, whatever, you can have it. Because
Yeah.
I wanted like the other trips. I wanted like New Orleans and stuff. All right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's right. Because New Orleans not my jam. So yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's the explanation. I have not covered a professional basketball game in Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland a couple of times, but not for that. So this is going to be fun. This is my first time at the Rocket Mortgage Center. So, I'll find my way around, and hopefully I find my way to meeting a few of you Celtics fans. So make sure you come say hi, and I would love it if you shared the podcast. Spread the word. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.